You already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
This might be a bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history. But in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made. For us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created.
If you ever had to wear the scars of a victim, if you ever had to carry the burden of the ugly memories and even in some cases some of the things that you can't remember because it was so dark, so deep, and so painful, until you walked in the shoes of a victim, you can't even judge a situation like this because some of you people are caught up in your feelings of liking a person and their music. And I'll give you an example. R. Kelly, we watched videos of what he did. Well, y'all did. Because there was videos in barbershops all over the place with R. Kelly urinating on a little girl. And people will have the audacity to say out of their mouth, I still listen to R. Kelly's music. If you still listen to music of R. Kelly, to each his own, that's cool. But for you to actually say it out of your mouth and then say it with a sassy attitude as if, so what? That's a whole different, that's a totally different ball game. And see, victims, they don't feel like that. And then even amongst the victims, you got levels of Stockholm syndrome, right? Where some victims love their oppressor. And see, I want you to understand there's different levels of Stockholm syndrome, and there's different situations in Stockholm syndrome. It's like Five God made a song where he was like, he don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome, and I disagree. Because the streets come with Stockholm syndrome too. The streets come with Stockholm syndrome too. The streets hurt us the most, abused us the most, and this is a whole nother video. The streets abused us. The streets make our mamas cry. The streets have niggas pouring out liquor over their dead homie. The streets got niggas joining sets that snitched on their own set and continuously they snitched on their own sets, and niggas is still in love with that. But that's a whole nother video. Now, Usher saying that he forgives P. Diddy. Why wouldn't he? Y'all think for a single second that Usher didn't perform the same rituals that P. Diddy did? What part y'all don't understand in the Bible when it says that it is easier for the camel to get through the eye of the needle than it is for a rich man to get into paradise? Did you not understand what the Bible was saying when it said that? What part y'all didn't understand when Nori said that there's a door and he gave you 3 choices of the doors that you can go through? Homo, sacrifice. He chose to go straight. What part y'all don't understand, or y'all like to play dumb? That there's levels. The music industry is Satan's house. And in order for you to come into Satan's kingdom, you have to come up under Satan's rules, Satan's regulations. Why do you think dudes like Rick Ross will sit up there and say he had to get it on his own and nobody believed in him? And it wasn't just that he had to get it on his own. There's sacrifices that he had to make. And in order for you to get through to his level and where he's at and do what he did, if you ain't willing to make those sacrifices, they're not opening up the door. You think that them dudes is going to get their back blown out and go through all the types of ugliness and evils that come with the music industry, and then you just going to come in you're going to just come in the industry and you're going to reap the benefits of everything that they had and everything that they got without going through the humiliation rituals, without going through the sacrifices, without going through the evils? It doesn't work that way. That's why a lot of rappers are getting mad at podcasters, because podcasters are actually surpassing the rappers without going through the rituals, just by being themselves and creating dope content continuously. Now, I'm not saying that some of these content creators, I'm not saying that they didn't go through the door. I'm not telling you that there's not a door for content creators. It's just that you can tell which ones is on that level based off of their level. It is what it is. So when it comes to situations when we talking about Usher and his forgiveness and him not looking at P. Diddy through the eyes of everybody else, we already understand that the veil of evil is lifted in America. The veil of evil is lifted. And we all know that the people on the higher ups are doing far more worse than what Diddy did. But Diddy rubbed elbows with the Epsteins and the Weinsteins. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, and we ain't talking about the regular ones. Now, as far as Usher not admitting to the rumors that what we heard that Diddy did to him, why would Usher open up that door, knowing that the same things that Diddy did, Usher did too? They all did. See, the thing is, when you do it as a ritual to get into the industry, they don't punish you for that. They only punish you for the traps that you do outside of those rituals when you get caught. See, there's a difference. Your humiliation rituals that you do, they will never put you in jail for those. What you do on your own time with the people that they set up around you, because they set traps in the industry. And what you do with those people, well, that's a whole nother story. So as far as what Usher feels and how he feels about Diddy, and, you know, some people going to feel like Diddy did his time. There's not enough time on this earth and this planet to punish Diddy or the rest of these evil people for the things that they done. There's not enough time. That's why on a day of judgment, you reap what you sow. Everybody got to stand in front of God. It ain't no getting around it. I don't care how much they try to take your consciousness out of your brain and download it to the metaverse. They trying to take your conscious out of your brain and download it to the metaverse or upload it to the metaverse so that you can escape death. There's no getting around God and Judgment Day, my nigga. You reap what you sow. And in these last days, a lot of rappers then came out and gave hints. You ever got that visit? Y'all heard what Gillian Wallow? You ever got that knock? You ever got that visit? If that visit was such of a blessing, why are they giving hints? If it was so much of a blessing, why are they giving hints? You ever seen a nigga get $100 million and cry at the same time? Anyway, that's my take on this situation. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. And pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Live life as if you want to run and stay dangerous at the same time. I'm out.